Episode 2 is a go. This is definitely the first take. We're starting out strong.
We are go. We are liftoff. The green light is up. The record button is up.
All right, Tevin. Would you like to talk about my friend Dahmer?
First of all, I have 3 words.
Okay.
Can we cuss on this podcast?
We've already established that we could in episode 1.
I just wanted to make sure. What the fuck, man? That movie had its moments of what the fuck.
What do you mean?
Like these whole stabbing things and shit, stalking people.
I think we're at an impasse. Not an impasse. I think our experiences have diverged to the point where I think I was kind of numb to those situations. It's gonna sound really bad. I know that. Didn't have the best childhood. I grew up with people who. I'm trying to think of how to delicately phrase this.
Kyle, just say the what the fuck. Like a horror movie didn't scare you.
Well, horror movies don't scare me. I mean, they're interesting and fun to watch people. Like that, the killing of small animal does that. I grew up with specific people who may have done. I'm trying not to use their name.
Yeah. I just thought that movie had its what the fuck moments, and I was like, what are we watching? First, we go from watching a movie about a toy franchise with subtext about doms and submissive sex, and then now here we are. The serial killer who likes to play with dead animals.
Hold on a second. What are you doing? My dog just walked into my room, started staring at the wall, and then she walked up to the wall, stuck her nose to the wall, and just stood there. I swear the house I'm in is haunted, and the dog is trying to attack the ghost. Because for most of it, she's been refusing to stay in my room with me. She'll be really close to me, and then she'll start coming in my room, and then she'll get scared in the threshold and then sprint out and won't come anywhere near my room.
Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters?
I may need to. I mean, typically when that happens, I have nightmares.
Bro, I watched a new trailer for the new movie, and it's based off of Egon's grandchildren.
Okay. But we're not talking about that right now. We will cross that bridge when we get there. We're still on my friend Dahmer.
Oh, Dahmer. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just saying. So,
part of me is kind of upset with us. I am kind of upset with us, just for the record. Because your girlfriend used to have a horror podcast. And this is her field of expertise, if you will. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Are you eating right now? It sounds like you're eating.
I was sipping on Dr. Pepper. I'm sorry.
But no, tell me your thoughts about it, and then I'll give you my thoughts.
Just overall real fast, or just go in depth?
You know what? Dealer's choice. I mean, we've got an hour to fill.
Sure. I'll just do a quick overall, because then we can just overall,
No, go in depth, because that may save me from having to cover some stuff.
All right, just punch in when you think. So overall, I'll do a quick overall. I think you agree with me. I thought, when it started, I thought it was gonna be like a low budget movie. I was like, oh god, this is gonna be a low budget. But I didn't think it was really low budget. I thought
I
it was
actually thought
good.
I thought we were going into another documentary, and I was like, "Crap, we're starting off this podcast with two documentaries back to back." But it turns out it wasn't.
No, it was just a retelling of him becoming.
Childhood, yeah. Like, what's the best way to describe this?
It's kind of like the movie Hannibal Lecter Origins.
Sure, I haven't seen that, but we can add that to the list one of these days.
Whew, that movie's a long one.
Check out episode 348 for that.
For real. Whew. We might need to do that one along the way, because that movie is long.
Yeah, we may need to stay away from long movies for a while. Stop eating my mask. Hold on a second. My dog is trying to eat my mask.
That's man's dog.
I swear she's getting into stuff just to get into stuff. Okay, where were we?
The overall view, like we're just telling the people how it was basically an origin movie of him, basically his childhood.
Okay, what are some parts that stuck out to you as a person?
What stuck out to me was his mom was like mentally ill, outrageous, and his dad's just like, at first I thought the dad was an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
But then I thought his intentions were good, but they were just poorly executed.
Yeah, I can understand that. Oh, trust me, I can understand that. Because, it reminded me a lot of stuff that went on with my childhood and certain people I knew in my childhood who, if things didn't turn out the way they did, we could be in a similar boat of that whole let's take a road trip. But no, they ended up. Sorry, this is a really complex thing to talk about on the podcast for only a second episode.
Well, we're here.
But they kind of turned around eventually, and proper medical help was given. Not to the parents. The parents are divorced, and one came out as gay, and then
in the movie.
Married. No. I'm talking about the situation that is similar for me.
Oh, I was like, wait, the dad wasn't gay. The dad had a girlfriend.
No, but speaking of gay, it was very unclear if Jeffrey Dahmer was gay, and I couldn't tell if that other kid had a crush on Dahmer.
Oh, the boy with a really high-pitched voice?
I was talking about one of the, that one had a crush on Dahmer. Like, that was pretty clear, and it seemed like they were both reciprocating.
Oh, that kid was gay?
I don't know.
I thought, because, the other boys in the movie kept saying the F word a lot to each other. So I was like, all right, I guess it's just slang back.
Well, you got to remember the time period, which is not a great thing to begin with. But it seemed like one of them had a crush on Dahmer because they kept drawing pictures of him and all this. And then the most uncomfortable scene for me is like towards the end, which is when he's going to kill the possible love interest of, like, the person in the front group actually cares for him, and he's like planning to kill him, and then he just runs away, and I'm like, crap. That part kind of shook me a little bit.
Bruh. I wasn't sure either, because he had that weird obsession with the male doctor. And I'm just like I thought he killed, at some point, I thought he actually killed the male doctor. Remember, he was like laying in bed?
Yeah, he was laying on a dead body, and I couldn't tell if he killed the doctor or if he killed to cope. Because clearly there was something stuck doctor, and I couldn't make out what it was.
Bro, that was so weird. The way they did make it sound like that, because they were like, He was so. Hold on, let me walk over and put my stuff in my truck. They made it seem like he was like obsessed with a doctor. You know, they started off he was obsessed with a doctor because he's like.
I feel like he wanted to be a doctor, like he wanted to cut things open on body horror and all that.
Yeah, and then like he just got and when they were talking about the physical, because the best friend was like, "Dude, that's Doctor. Was it Dr. Brown? Is his name Dr. Brown?" All right.
Okay. Real quick. But no, at one point I did Google if Jeffrey Dahmer was gay, and I got like articles on whether he could or couldn't be gay. I don't know. It's very unclear.
I think that's what the movie was trying to do. Because I was like, I think he likes that doctor. Because he was obsessing about that doctor. You know, they did the physical, and the doctor's like, "All right, drop your boxers," and he just stood there for a good.
Someone's going again, but almost say something.
I did. Hey.
Okay, you.
I stopped him for a sec. No, I thought he like crushed on the doctor because even when he was doing his physical, he just had his pants down for a good minute. I'm like, bruh, don't pull your pants up. That doctor's uncomfortable.
Dude, I thought the two boys crashed on each other, but they were very unsure how to do it. Because there's a lot of scenes where they're like super, and then I'm like, okay, maybe they're setting up for something. And the other guy starts doodling him. He says, "I can draw people too," and then hands the girl lay down, and then I'm like, okay. I'm looking at.
See, that scene was weird. Like the movie also had some weird scenes. That's like one of the weird scenes in my eyes. People like, yeah, I can draw them too. I'm just like, what?
Just lay down and act dead. There so many red flags. I'm like, dude, I was like, clearly there's something. I know what, because I'm not an idiot. I'm aware of his, but it was weird because it was like at some points they were trying too hard, and others it was like, we're being cheeky here. We're alluding to it, but we're not saying it. And I don't. Sometimes it's not always that clear, but my major takeaway, like first time I started like encountering Dahmer's character, my first thought was, oh, this is a sick killer. It was, okay, this kid has some type of mental disorder or illness, and I can't pinpoint what it is, and I ended up having to Google it. We're gonna glitch out for a minute, okay?
All right, go ahead. Here, I want to talk I'll talk about. See, I knew he had to have a mental disorder because they were like, because his mom in the movie, the dad and him were like, so does mom need to go back to the hospital? And his dad's like, I'm not sure this time. And I'm like, yeah, she's got a mental disorder.
Okay, so he was diagnosed with 3 mental disorders: psychotic disorder, schizopol disorder, personality disorder.
I didn't think he had personality disorder. Whoa, maybe.
And he also has borderline personality disorder, which typically, sometimes with borderline personality disorder, they come from situations like the infighting, and from like parents and stuff, where it becomes an adaptive personality. That's required on them to survive, and then sometimes, the trauma can develop in weird ways. But like the moment I met this kid on the street, and I was like, okay, this kid's got something. Clearly, and I was like, first couple of minutes in, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna predict that this kid's got a mental disorder. He's not gonna properly be taken care of. Things around him are gonna make it worse, and it's gonna develop into where it's just gonna bubble over, and that's gonna how he becomes a killer. And then it wasn't. It was just he was very curious about very weird things, and he was just too scared to ask them. And then he started experimenting on his own, and things got dangerous.
See, I agree with you there. And then I also thought his environment kind of played into effect.
It can, but I don't know. It's a complicated thing. Because the trauma is how your brain copes with it after the fact. For a lot of the movie, he was going through the trauma, like, as he was doing some of these things, like small things. There was one scene where he's going to kill the dog.
Oh, bro, I was about to pause it and tell you, like, bro, put your phone down at so and so.
And I was like, I don't remember him killing a dog, and then he lets the dog go, and like this. I don't want to say Old Yeller scene, but it's like one of those scenes where he's like, "Go on, get out of here, nobody wants you," and they're just crying, and it looked like he was dabbing with a knife, and I was like, "What?"
I thought he was about to butcher that dog. I was about to text you, like, "Hey, bro, when you watch this movie, just put your phone down," and blah blah blah. And I was like, "Well, hold on, before I text him, let me make sure," because.
Well, he like a staple of like psychopaths is like killing small animals like birds and cats and starting their way up.
But, so he didn't do that though. He was just collecting roadkill.
Like he was correcting what roadkill, dissecting it, wanting to learn about it, and then eventually, I think he did kill some smaller animals, but he struggled with like bigger than a dog, and then I don't know if the like schizophrenic personality disorder, I don't know what that is personally, but I thought he had schizophrenia at one point with the body scene where he's like laying on top of the body.
You know? Oh yeah, the dead body or the doctor body, that weird body.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought he was just obsessed with the doctor. I was like, bro, did he go in and kill the doctor? But then he cuts he's just laying in the bed curled up. So I'm like, all right, in his mind, he's thinking about cuddling with the doctor. And I'm like, wait, why is he thinking about cuddling with the doctor?
Yeah. All right, Devin, we're going to need to take an ad break real quick. So once we do get sponsor segments,
All right.
So you good?
Yep.
All right. Save it for the next segment.
All right.
I have no clue.
You have no clue?
Yeah, but I don't hear it now, so we're going to roll with it.
All right. That's like, you sound fine on my end. I mean, this might be our connections. It is what it is. But, I mean, did you play back and see if you could hear a weird echo audio?
Like with how it is, you got to remember, it takes a while for it to download and save up.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It takes it a minute. But anyways, yeah, he just had a weird obsession with that doctor. I was like, why?
What'd you think about, like, the Losers Club? Well, not the Loser Club, the Dahmer Club.
I thought it was dumb. I was like, really? Really? You guys are going to encourage his behavior? I really think he was getting bullied. Like, what'd you think? I really think in the beginning they were trying to just bully him.
I think in the beginning they were trying to bully them, and then they developed, they're like, yeah, okay, he's not too weird, but we can profit off this. And then every once in a while they'd be like, dude, what the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. That's what the fuck moments, and they're all just like,
no, that's Dahmer. And then you had the one character who's been doodling him the entire time, like, hey man, you okay? Like that one grounded character in like every sitcom ever.
They're like, hey man, we need to go sit on a log somewhere right next to the lake, and you just hear the dun dun dun, and they start having a heartfelt conversation to help.
No, Dahmer is just like, I am fine, like no emotion. Like he just popped an Adderall for the first time. It was not good.
Bro, the guy that played him does a good job because he just had a blank face throughout, and like his movement of they just made him so quiet, and like he just moved without anybody noticing. He's just like do 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 boom. Hey guys, oh shit, Dahmer.
I was. Repeat what you just said. I was following, and then I got distracted.
I said I like the way the actor that played Dahmer. He gave him like a blank, like he did a pretty good blank stare, and they
Mhm.
also did a good job of making him quiet. Like he just blended in.
Okay, so I was looking. I was curious on who it was, and it's Ross Lynch
Why's that name
who plays
sound?
Dahmer. I'm about to tell you why. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Um, are you familiar with the Teen Beach movie?
I'm not.
That's okay. Are you familiar with the Muppets Most Wanted?
I love Muppets the Most Wanted.
Well, he had a part in that. I don't know what part it was.
Oh,
Are you familiar with Snow Time, the 2025 movie?
Snow Time
Yep.
in the year 2025.
No, 2015.
Oh no, I'm not familiar.
Neither am I. Are you familiar with Austin and Alley?
Oh, that's some Disney show, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm familiar with that one.
He's Austin.
Oh, okay, that guy. Okay, he was that. Holy crap, he's a good actor.
Yep. I mean, he hasn't been in a lot of movies though. He's been in like Teen Beach Movie, Teen Beach Movie 2, Austin and Alley. He was in Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Status Update, My Friend Dahmer. He was in an episode of Jesse. R5, All Day, All Night. Grapple in 2010, which looks like a wrestling one. Wait, more just popped up. Oh, it's just like red carpet stuff.
Mm.
But yeah, that's what he's been in so far. Because I was like, because I looked it up. I was like, okay, I gotta stop this movie. I need to figure out what this guy is from. And I was like, oh yeah, Beach Movie, Austin and Alley. I remember that in passing. I haven't watched it myself. I did add Teen Beach Movie to the wheel though.
You did?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Because I was like, we've never seen this. This would be an interesting watch.
I'm not gonna lie, this movie was actually an interesting watch. Compared to the first movie we just watched.
Dude, the pacing was all right. The aesthetic looked like it was in the 70s or 60s. It looked proper for the time period. We're not sitting here talking about semen.
Oh, no.
We did have that one scene of him jerking off, but I mean,
God, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what made me think he had a thing for the doctor because he had his physical, right?
Well, you gotta remember how they framed it. Like he was sexually attracted to the medical, like macabre of it. Of course, hold up. I think he did molest, like Jeffrey Dahmer. So his convictions are first-degree murder, child molestation, indecent exposure, disorderly conduct, public intoxication.
Christ.
Yep. His span of crimes were from 1978 to 1991. He was apprehended July 22nd, 1991, and imprisoned in Columbia Correctional Institution. I think the crimes were only in Ohio and Wisconsin, though. 17 victims. Criminal penalty was life imprisonment, 16 life terms, which is basically 941 years in prison.
Jesus.
Well, he didn't serve them long because he got shanked by another inmate.
And he died?
Mm-hmm. Hold up. Cause of death, homicide, head trauma. He was cremated, though, and his ashes were given to his parents.
How ironic.
His aliases were the Milwaukee Cannibal and the Milwaukee Monster.
Both very cool names.
Not really.
Yeah, I mean,
Your tier for naming. Would you like to know his employment history?
sure.
All right, I'm gonna ask you to buckle up.
Oh Lord, all right, I'm buckled in.
U.S. Army combat medic discharged. Okay.
Wait,
Are you
what?
with? Yep. Okay, you with me?
I'm with you.
Former declassification delicatessen employee. I don't know what that means. Former phenol botanist. And ready for the last one?
Yep.
Chocolate factory worker.
Chocolate factory
Worker.
worker.
Yep.
Wow.
Her dreams come true and you eat people. That's what I learned from Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka needs to do better background checks.
He really does.
Shoot. God.
He went to Ohio State for a while, but never finished.
Yeah, because he actually did. I thought he was seeing the movie when they were talking about going to college. See, a part of me felt like he was lying about going to Ohio State. He's like, yeah, I'm going to Ohio State. I'm like, bro, you're lying.
Yeah, it was very unclear.
That's like near the end. I was like, bro, he's lying. He's snapping.
Yeah, he died on November 28, 1994, age 34, Columbia Correctional Institution, Port Gregg, Wisconsin, U.S. He was born May 21st, 1960, though. Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Huh. That's cool. Fun history facts for people.
Yep. It's just very weird and wacky. Do we have anything else to add about this? Oh, what do you think about him getting paid to like fake seizures and fake medical conditions?
See, that's when I was like, really?
I didn't understand why. That seemed messed up. I forget when it was. I think when is he a kid again? The 70s?
Yeah.
Okay. So an important thing to know, it's either 70s or 80s, which is what I'm about to talk about. Devin, you have CP.
Yes.
You walk with a limp, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not saying this to make fun of you. So, like with stuff like that, like with your limp or like exhibiting outward signs of this, a kid could be detained and taken away from their parents. Their parents could be given a ticket, and their child could be hospitalized in an institution to correct it with like electroshock therapy for like autism or other medical conditions. Like for a while you couldn't like outwardly display that you had a disability. Okay. So a lot of places in the U.S., like through the 70s and 80s, were like that. I don't remember which one it is exactly, but it was that way for a very long time. And we only recently got to, where we don't like freak out at the sight of disabled people. Like, if you saw a person in a wheelchair, you wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, I'm calling the police. Which apparently was a thing that used to happen back in the 70s. Because I was looking up, like, autism and stuff. And apparently that was a real thing that happened. And the reason I was looking it up, remember, you know how I just mentioned, like, shock therapy?
Uh-huh.
Well, guess what's been brought back in 2021 for kids with autism who act up in schools?
Shock therapy?
Yes.
That stuff doesn't work.
I know. And there's plenty of documentation proving it doesn't work. But yet, here we are.
Oh, that's got to be fake. There's no way. That's been proven that it doesn't really work. It makes it work. It like just fries your brain cells.
Okay, so are you aware of Autism Speaks?
Yeah, I thought they fundraised autism research.
Okay. Kind of. Their goal is to cure autism.
Well, that's what I mean. Research,
No,
cure.
no, no. You're right, but what they're doing is wrong because they're both neurological disorders. With my ADHD, I have less frontal matter in my frontal lobe. I have like inattentiveness, impulsivity, dopamine receptors in my brain, and lack of dopamine, which has. But they're like, we can fix you. We're gonna find so you're normal, and you can't. Their brain works. That's their brain's chemistry. Okay.
Okay.
So a lot of the early treatments for autism and ADHD for that type of capacity, are you familiar with?
Go ahead and explain it.
All right, real world worker.
Oh, the guy with the spike in his head.
Yep, and it completely changed his personality. Lobotomized, like electroshock therapy. And then I was recently reading more stuff about the electroshock therapy, and a lot of early, I think it was during the Eisenhower administration. So, like, if you were found not to be gay in the government, you were taken to conversion therapy and, like, put under electric shock and then forced to, like, call people you knew and try to get them outed. And most of the time, it just ended up with people breaking down in tears. But that is messed up.
It is. Are you just pop up something, or are you just saying that's messed up in general?
Oh no, that's just messed up.
Oh, okay. You went from the tone of your voice. That's messed up. Like I thought you just were googling something as you were talking.
No. Like, I understand. Like we medically, we've come a very long way, and maybe there would be a way to prevent something like this. But at the same time, you run into issues with like Autism Speaks and like the gay conversion thing, where you use methods that dehumanize people in the way that, you know, Dahmer is looking to do, where it's like, oh, I'm going to cut you open and see what takes. In that type of fashion.
That scene was weird with the football player in the hotel.
I wonder if your stomach is the same color as mine. I was like, what?
See, that's what I'm talking about. In those movies, you have that moment of what? And he's like, and they're just sitting there chilling, watching Three's Company. He's like, do you think your stomach's the same as mine? Your palms aren't as dark. And dude's looking at his palms. I'm like, bruh.
You know what's creepy?
I thought he's gonna kill that dude.
No. Like I'm saying personally, you know what's creepy for me?
What?
I went to primarily white school. I went to private Christian school. Okay.
Okay.
We had this one kid who was weird, kind of like Dahmer was. Okay.
All right.
And he said that exact same thing to one of the football players who was like the only black kid in our class at the time. Okay.
Okay.
And me and my best friend just looked at each other and like, something's not right here.
Where I thought he was gonna kill that dude in the hotel right then and there. I was like, oh no, this is where it starts. He's gonna kill the black dude in DC.
Well, here's the thing. That same kid would end up getting in trouble for like checking out other guys in the locker room, and then he would just where he would start talking and then repeat himself like 3 times, Like, I'm saying something. I'm saying something. I'm saying something like that.
Did Dahmer do that? No, Dahmer didn't do that.
No. I'm talking about the kid that I went to school with.
Oh no, I'm just saying. I'm just thinking. I'm like, did Dahmer repeat himself? Dahmer did something weird.
No. He did the little spazzy thing in public, but the guy I'm talking about kind of did similar stuff to that.
Mm.
And now that we're talking about it, I'm realizing it.
Lord.
And it doesn't help. I was the nicest one out of our friend group to that guy.
Oh, relax. It's not like...
He did ask to go to a movie by ourselves. And I was like, I don't know about that, man.
I've been like, me and my girlfriend have to go see the new Avenger movie.
Dude, I was in middle school. I didn't have a girlfriend.
Oh.
I had my dog. And I was like, I've got a dog. She's my best friend. I read to her every day after school. I literally read to my dog every day after school for the longest time.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, be careful. Mental. What is the takeaway here?
I really don't know. I was just like, I know the film was trying to show.
There's a lesson here, and I'm scared, and I don't know what it is.
I guess it's watch out for them red flags. I think it's like watch out for them red flags because everybody in the movie, like, I'm sorry, when he stabbed that fish when they were fishing, and he just tore that fish up, they all looked at him like, why'd you do that? Oh, I feel like it.
Don't get into strangers' cars. If hanky going on, report it. Maybe go the other way. I mean, America's national snitching policy is snitches get stitches, but I mean, and bitches and ditches.
For real, like, killed. Yo, you know who else was crazy? The guy that was always smoking. They were about to play Russian roulette.
Dude, that guy was weird. He reminded me of another guy I knew in middle school.
Dude, they were out in the woods.
Like he was always on the edge of just taking somebody on in a fight.
See, I thought they were about to become best friends. I was like, oh no, he influences him to kill. Because I thought he was a drug dealer, like a wanted little drug dealer at school. He's like, hey guys, want to smoke some weed?
First, I thought that was the first person Dahmer killed, and I was like,
see, I thought
like an accident. He's gonna get away with it and start getting a little cocky, you know.
Yo, he was just weird.
That's what I wanted to talk about going into this. Okay, so with a lot of these movies, like the Zodiac Killer and all this, I thought we'd get into a documentary style where like, oh yes, Jeffrey Dahmer was a genius, super charismatic. Because a lot of shows do that, like with Ted Bundy. I think it's Ted Bundy.
Yeah, it was Ted Bundy. You talking about the one with Zac Efron?
Yeah, like Ted Bundy, the Zodiac Killer. A lot of times media like saying, "Oh, they're super smart." Like, no, they're like, well, they're super smart. We don't know how they keep evading us. And then a lot of times it's just like, just ignorance from the cops. They're like, it should be fine, I guess.
I didn't see it.
Like, it's like literally ignorance, and so they're like trying to cover their tracks. They're like, oh yeah, he's just a genius. That's why he kept evading us. Not dumb luck. I thought it was going to be one of those, and then I'm going to be honest, I was I wouldn't say pleasantly surprised, but I was surprised to like have this type of movie.
See, I thought it was gonna be a documentary too, so I was kind of glad it was like not like a retelling.
Why on earth are you acting like there's something in the hall? We are alone in this house.
Wait, your sister actually went to work?
Yeah, she's at work.
What is she? Oh wait, never mind. I know what she's doing now. Wait a minute.
What?
Your sister literally wrote on Facebook how happy she was to get this job, like a paragraph.
Yeah, it's a new job.
Anyways, what is that sound?
That's the dog.
Oh,
Yeah, that's her little paws running around. I gotta let her out real quick.
all right.
Go potty. All right, so rate the movie.
I rate this movie. Excuse me. Considering it doesn't give us a clear picture and no life lesson, I give it 8 popcorn buckets.
Okay, I'm giving it 7. Like
7.
maybe 6 and no, I take that back. 6.5. I'm being stingy.
Really?
Yeah, I like the storytelling aspect, but I thought there were some places it could be improved. Like, don't get me wrong, the acting, like, Bon Appetit, great. I shouldn't say Bon Appetit about a cannibal.
Yo, can we explain? See, this is what I don't understand. This is how I knew he had a bad home life. His parents let him build a shed with dissolving dead animal carcasses.
I was gonna go off the premise of the chicken's raw, eat it or starve. And I was like, my mom can't kill chicken.
That made me think the mom was crazy. And I saw the red on the chicken. And I was like, ew, I see the red too. And she's like, eat it.
Devin,
I'm like,
you don't understand. The amount of times I have eaten raw chicken growing up because mom can't cook. And you can't tell mom that, or she breaks down and starts throwing things. Like my mom's doing a lot better now. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think I have the superpower of I'm immune to salmonella. This isn't a joke. Because anytime we would go to the calf, anytime I got chicken, it was raw. And I'm like, I'd get like halfway through the chicken because I'm starving. And then I realized it's pink. And then I'm like, I'm going to get sick and die. And then
see, I don't understand that. I never understood about the calf, even though you could clearly see them cooking it right in front of you.
No, they weren't cooking it well enough. Like, you got to do it. They're rotating the chicken sometimes, but they're not cooking it all the way through. All right, Devin. I've got the wheel pulled up.
All right.
Are you ready for next episode?
All right, let's do it. Please don't be the Barbie movie. Please don't be the Barbie movie. Is it a Barbie movie? You're quiet.
Kind of, but no.
Oh, no.
Someone marry Barry.
Oh, Someone Marry Barry. Hold on, let me see if it's on Hulu. Is it on Hulu? I think it's on Hulu. Hold on.
So. I think it's a romantic comedy.
It is.
I put this on the list for you. Because I was like, this seems like right up his alley. Like, this is a romantic comedy that he would love. It was released in 2014.
Yep, Someone Marry Barry. Oh, it's a comedy. Okay, this one probably won't be that bad.
Yep. It's on Hulu.
Yep. Oh, it's a raunchy comedy. Okay, this one might not be that bad.
All right. So would you like to tell them how we're going to be setting up our episodes now?
You do it.
So we've decided.
Oh my goodness. Suburban Goth has the guy off of Criminal Minds and the doctor off of Thor.
I don't know what you're talking about. I see in the cast Thomas Middleditch, Damon Wayans Jr., Hayes MacArthur, and that's pretty much all I know. Yeah. Well, there's also Wyatt Oleff, who was in It of 2017, 18. Oh, Ed Helms is in here. Say something, Devin. Devin.
I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry.
I thought Jeffrey Dahmer got you.
Bro, don't say it. I'm in this house by myself, too, and this house creaks.
Dude, we just established that he's dead and cremated.
Hey, man. You never know.
You know what this movie did raise questions for me?
What it raised for you?
Are there millennial serial killers?
I'm gonna say yes.
My best conclusion was we haven't really heard of them because, you know, all these old serial killers got like coverage in like movies and stuff wrote about them. But those are still new. But
oh no, I think when we get in our 30s, we're gonna see a lot of like something crazy happen, like 2002 or something. We're gonna be like, huh.
Well, the reason I say that is because a good portion of millennials are in their 30s now, and that's when a lot of serial killers like come into their like they start to plateau in their killing days, you know, because they start out young or something, and then you know.
Also, I have another movie that I hope we get across to on Hulu that looks good. It's a comedy sports movie. It's called The Turkey Bowl.
I have not put that on the list.
Well, darn. I'll just watch for my personal time.
Dude, we got 150 just to start out with. We can deviate some at some point, but we need to tell them about how we're setting up episodes.
Go ahead.
So we're planning on doing 3 episodes a month, correct?
Yes, try to at least.
Yeah, we're gonna try to. We're finding it's pretty easy so far. Because we're already watching movies and talking about it, but you know, but we're like, you know what? Let's just record it and give our because clearly everybody needs to hear our 2 cents that they didn't ask for.
But you're getting it anyway.
Yeah, but so far we're planning on that, like 3 episodes a month. We will give you guys an update if we do change it, but we're really just focusing on growing the platform and trying to like broaden our horizons, if you will, like in our movies. Because that first episode we talked about how like my main type of movies are like classic monster movies, like 1950s, 1960s Godzilla's, Wolfman, The Invisible Man, like those, and then superhero movies and documentaries. And Devin's more sports, raunchy comedies, and
God, you say every time I think of raunchy comedy, I think of this one movie, which Did you pick the 150 movies that go into the wheel, or did they just randomize it?
Oh no, I did. Like I did like research.
Okay, good. So I'm guessing you didn't put in Bucky Larson Wants to Be a Star.
I've never even heard of that till now.
Oh, good. We'll cross that bridge when we cross it.
Do I need to add it right now?
No, Kyle, no, not now. That's something down the line for later.
Next episode, Bucky something wants to be. I wasn't paying attention, but we're watching that now. So grab your popcorn buckets, and we'll see you in the next one.
No, Kyle, no. I watched it one day down here. No, or was I back home still? I watched it the week before I came down here, and I was like, I don't want to watch this ever again.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. We need, like, I'm really into like documentaries, okay? But I don't want to see a documentary for a while. Okay? Like, that was rough. The He-Man one.
The He-Man one was rough. I was like, man.
It took some out of me.
Well, I'm just watching, and I'm just like, oh, like we said in the first episode, we got hooked, and then it just drags you in the mud. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But all right, episode 3. Someone.
Mary Berry.
Someone Mary Berry. I can't wait.
Yep. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. And don't forget your popcorn buckets.
Very important.
Thought you were gonna give some like witty one-liner, but you decided that's how we're gonna end it.
I mean, get your side of butter too.